Maybe it's just me, but I always time myself when I take apart a sewing machine for restoration. Today I turned on the camera and you're gonna come along with me. Hi, if you're new here, I am Jen and I restore vintage sewing machines. In this video, I'm just taking you along for the ride with me as I fully disassemble this Singer Featherweight for painting. So if that's something that you think you would like to watch, stick around, and at the end I'll show you some pictures of this machine when it was finished being painted. It turned out beautiful. I'll be bagging up these parts to clean. This one's missing 2 washers, the spring washer and the regular washer. When I take apart a machine for a customer, I keep a sticky note handy so I can note anything that is missing. This one has the wrong washer and a flat washer. So 2 cupped washers, 1 flat bed extension. And I'm just going to set this bigger one aside because there's a chance it was actually for the motor mount screw. So we'll see. Oh, and it's currently like, I probably started, we'll say 3:05. I started restoring machines about 4 years ago, and I just started with one that was just going to be for me, and it was just so addictive, and I just had to do another and then another. When I decided to start a YouTube channel to show other people how to do this, it actually turned into a full-time business for me, and now I spend every day working on my customers' machines, and I just love it. So now I'm just going to let you enjoy watching me take apart this featherweight. I do explain some of what I'm doing, so hopefully you'll find it interesting. I ended up with about 55 minutes of footage, so you can see I really didn't edit out much except for the really boring parts or where I stepped away from the camera. But that gives you a good idea of how long it takes to disassemble one of these machines. And again, wait until the end because you're going to see how beautiful she turned out. This one is actually getting painted. It's going to be a beautiful light blue with the original style decal, I believe. So I'll be stripping it down a little bit further because it's going to be painted. I think we're going to go with that one. Needle bar clamp screws are notoriously sticky, so usually I do downward pressure before I even attempt to take them off. just because I don't want to strip out the screw head, and I know that's going to be a sticky screw. I'm going to see if I can loosen this screw. If I can, I will. If not, I will take out the thread take-up system hole. But I always try, and this is a right threaded, or left threaded, right threaded. You have to turn to the right clockwise to get it to move. And the downward pressure up, it's coming free. I'm sorry if my hands are in your way. This is more just a fun thing for me. So that is free. These are a game changer, but the bits do break easy. So if it takes a certain amount of pressure, I give up and I switch to a standard screwdriver. We've got the washer that came out. Oh, look, there's the other cupped washer for the bed extension, so it must have just been stuck. Let's see if I can wiggle this part out. There we go. Removing these brackets. This one's a little bit stuck. I'll let that sit for a minute. Take the feed dogs off. try this again. Yeah. Two more screws. Maybe you can see what I'm doing now a bit better. Adjust my note. It's 1 cupped water because I found the other one. Bobbin case. So you see I'm putting them flat, bringing it closer to my body to loosen these screws. I use a little pen to pull the spring out. And as I put it away, I make sure I have the spring, 2 springs, and 3 little screws. I'm going to do the tension next. Just taking out this screw here. The tension stud screw is another one that can be stuck. And the pin. Let's look at the bottom. This is a new replacement pad, but it's still going to get replaced. Somebody did some work on the wiring here. So I'm curious to see how the wiring to the motor looks, because this is definitely aftermarket wiring, but we're going to take the hook off next if we can. I'm going to turn this towards me. Hook. This screw I may replace. The screw head is pretty bad. Bobbin case base. Let's take the jib arm off too. The little screw that holds the jib arm in, if it's gunky, might not come out all the way. Generally, you can poke it out. This one's pretty stuck. We'll let that sit for a minute. We'll go ahead and get these safely bagged up. One more try. Okay, maybe it'll come out when I clean it. Now, I want to do a little preventative oiling because I'm taking the rock shafts out. So what I'm doing is I'm oiling these set screws for the rock shafts now. And I want that to soak in, and while I do that, even though I'm not taking the rock shafts out now, I can take the feet off. These feet have also been replaced. Sometimes I put them back. Sometimes I just put new ones on. These are in pretty good condition. Rusty little screws. Okay, one last thing I want to take off here. Sometimes this is it's in so tight. I'll try it once or twice. If I can't get it out, I leave it. It's not really that important. I'll try it again after the oil has had a chance. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to see if I can loosen these set screws. Even if I don't take them out yet, the goal is to make sure that they're loose. I'm putting downward pressure. That one is free. That one is free. Okay, those need to soak a little bit longer. We'll try it again. That's why I try these early on. I need to know what I'm dealing with before I start whacking at them. So these are all bottom cover related things that can go here. Someone has been in this motor, so this will be an adventure because these screws that hold this motor shut are Phillips head. Okay, do you see that right there? That's a Phillips head screw. Original would have been flat. And here we go. I didn't even look. This is an Alpha Sew, so it's the first time I've ever gotten into an Alpha Sew motor, which explains these cords. I didn't even look. I'm just so used to taking these apart, I don't pay attention. So let's go ahead and take the bobbin winder off next. Everything is there. In case you're wondering, when I reach over, I'm reaching over into this drawer. This is where I keep all of my parts. Let's see if I can move this better here. All my things that I use a lot. And I mark certain wrenches. This sleeve is marked bobbin, so I can grab it quickly. This sleeve is marked feed. That's for my feed regulator. I know right where they are and I don't have to dig through sizes. So if you see me reach over here, I'm reaching into this slightly organized drawer. Okay, so back to the bobbin winder. I think that bit's too big. I'm disassembling this for paint. Now, if you don't like watching hammers around sewing machines, I don't use them that much, but there are times where you do. And if you don't want to see that, don't watch. Turn it off. Hopefully it's not too loud. This will be so much easier to paint than for my painter to have to mask off all of these other parts. These are from a gun cleaning kit. They're brass, so they don't damage the parts on the machines. They're soft enough, they don't hurt them. Okay, before I can take off the feed fork and the feed connecting rod, I have to remove the electrical. And how are you doing so far? Have I put you to sleep yet? I think you are about halfway through, actually a little bit more. This motor, I ended up being able to disassemble and paint it. And actually, at the end of the day, because it is a newer motor, I really liked the Alpha Sew motor. And it was not hard to take apart. It was in very good condition and it painted up beautifully. So it was a really pleasant experience to work with one of these motors finally. Now, the clamp that used to be here is not on this machine. If I have an extra one, I'll put it in. Still not sure about the story with this though. Let's take this off. And I could be wrong, but I wouldn't be surprised if this nut came from a 201. I don't see many that were white on the inside, but I have seen them like that off of a 201, so who knows. This clamp for the lead sheath is also missing, which is a big no-no, so I'll be replacing that too. And this, ooh, as my grandson would say, ooh, but this will get new wiring. That's really bad. Go ahead and cut this now so it's easier to get out. And I guess all I'm bagging up for this are these because all the other parts are missing. And we'll bag up the switch. Okay, let's take the motor off. Also changed to a Phillips head. And a screw and a washer. And this. Now I can get to my eccentric screws, but let's pull this light out. Oh, look at this LED light bulb. It's so short. I've never seen one like this. So since I'm replacing the wiring on the light, and especially since I know it's going to crumble white stuff everywhere, that's why I went ahead and cut off part of it, because it's easier to get out without all that stuff crumbling off. Now, let's go ahead and just get this apart, and I always do this over a towel. Look at that. What's the point of the lead sheath if that's going to happen? These will get new wires. This goes in the trash. Okay. So I'm sort of pushing on the end of the screw while I turn the head of the screw. If I can't get them out that way, then I would drop penetrating oil into the oil port hole here. That's just a little bit wide. Hopefully my hair is not in the way too much. It seems like I always get my hair in the way. But it's kind of fun not changing the angle of the camera every time. Let's see. Oh, this was loose. Okay, that fork should just fall out now. I'm going for that one that's marked feed now, so that I can break free this nut. Doesn't this feel like it takes forever? Ah. Okay. These are the top screws for the cap on the feed connecting rod that I'm loosening. The feed connecting rod is already disconnected on the bottom. So I'm just taking it out. One of the screws fell. There we go. And you can keep these and the eccentric screws together because for the eccentric screws, the feed connecting rod is shorter shoulder than the feed fork eccentric screw. So don't need to worry about mixing them up. Okay, so I make a decision on every machine when I'm going to have it painted, how far I'm going to disassemble. I do not think I will be removing the gears on this one. I think I can clean this up well enough without doing that. And there was no indication that this machine was out of time or anything. So I will take out the rock shaft and the feed rock shaft. I'll be removing this. I'll be removing the needle bar bushing and the presser lifting lever. And then that will be it. I don't know if I'm going to do this on camera or this. It's a lot of banging. I also will be removing the badges. And let's see, what kind are they? Not sure I'll do that on camera either, just for the banging. But feed rock shafts, let's see how those other screws are wanting to behave now. And again, if my hair gets in the way, I am so sorry. No, okay. So I'm going to use my impact driver for this. You will hear it, but you won't see it. The only reason why is I'm actually going to put this machine on the floor. My bench is too high for me to put the adequate amount of downward pressure onto the screw where I feel comfortable this bit isn't going to bounce and strip the screw head. If I put this down on the floor, I can lean over it entirely and probably break it free. So that's what I'm gonna do. You can just listen. There's one. And that's the other one. Love this thing, but you just have to be careful when you use them. So standing over or leaning, squatting over a sewing machine on the floor. Whatever it takes, that's what we do. So there's one, and right away, I'm getting that penetrating oil down in. We are not an hour yet. Let's see, 10 minutes from an hour. Right now we are 50 minutes. I know I've done it faster than that. I don't know about you, but if I am stressed, this is my favorite thing to do. I'm not stressed right now. I'm totally happy, but something about this is so relaxing. Okay. Roll these babies up. Now, to remove the rock shafts, and I do not want to be moving the camera around, so I'm going to explain this the best that I can, and hopefully get this out of the way. Hopefully you get the idea. Don't do this if you are not prepared to put them back in. So let me look at something. Let me show you something. I'm going to start punching on the ends of these rock shafts. I'm going to start on this end, moving them down. I'm going to start on this side, the rock shaft, not the feed rock shaft, first, because of where it's connected. If I push down on the feed rock shaft first, it is in contact with this piece and I could break it off here or damage this little arm. So this side in the hook end first. Do you see how recessed it is? Over here, I've now pushed this one out. Now, I will try to pull it out now. She's coming. I'm going to turn it this way so I can grip it better. Almost. One. My husband's watching me. I'm doing a recording, honey, of how long it takes me to take apart a featherweight. Okay, I'm on a timer. Okay. So now that I have this down, if you can see up in here, there's a tiny bit of clearance right here. I made that room when I lowered this one first. Now I'm going to lower this one. We'll go just a smidge more. Let's see if this one will come out too as easy as the other one did. Very good. Now, I'm going to punch these back in the opposite direction. I'm not starting on this side. Now I am going to start on the feed rock shaft side because it needs to move first. I can only push it so far though. I don't want this arm getting up against the bed of the machine and breaking. So I'm going to just use this. That one's down. Now I can take this one down. And that's all it took to get them out. Now I can tap these out from the inside. And there we go. These will get all polished and cleaned, and it's going to make such a difference. So we are 55 minutes roughly. This is where I would stop if I were just restoring the machine and not having it painted. Also, there would be the motor disassembly, but since this is an alpha sew, we're going to hold off on that. But that's how long it would take me. I will do some additional things with the lever, the bushing, this little thread guide's coming off, and the badge is coming off, but that was kind of fun. And here she is before I put her decals on, and then after I put her decals on. And then finally all back together and ready to go home. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. I enjoyed making it for you. If you have questions, leave them for me in the comments below, and I will see you all again really soon. Bye.